Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joe. This is Work Hard RC, and Traxxas just announced that they're releasing the Mini XRT. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so like I mentioned, Traxxas announced today they're going to be releasing the Mini XRT. So essentially it's going to be like the Max or the Mini Max in a smaller version, the XRT in a mini version. So I'm pretty excited about it. When the Mini Max came out, I went ahead and purchased it. I've had a ton of fun with this. I know some folks, there were some parts they didn't necessarily like. They didn't think it was built well enough. They thought it should have been a 3S, all these other things. So with the XRT, you'll be getting a lot of that. And all I have to really show is the Mini Max. So I'm not the influencer that gets the cars from Traxxas yet. We'll see if that happens in the future. But I will be waiting with everybody else until May 9th when it's released in stores, or May, I believe it's 23rd when it's released on Traxxas.com. Now the price point is going to be $369.95 as opposed to the Mini Max. I believe it was about $100 less. There's a lot new technology, and not necessarily new technology, but a lot more technology in the Mini XRT. That's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of those because, you know, I could always upgrade this, or I can buy the other one and have two of them. As you guys know, I have kids, so one of these will be passed on to them, more than likely this one, and then I'll keep the XRT, and we'll have some fun out in the sand racing them and having some fun. So let's go ahead and break down the specs. I'm doing this only because there's a lot of folks like me who like to watch videos and hear the specs rather than having to go through and find it and read about it, and then to get my opinion on what I think about it. So again, it's not out yet. It'll be out May 9th. If you're going to be looking for it at your local stores, or May 23rd if you're going to buy it from Traxxas.com. And we're going to go ahead right now and break down the specs on the differences between the Mini Max and the new XRT, and also what it has inside of it, what it includes, and then kind of my opinion on what I think about it. All right, so we have our website open for Traxxas, and when you come to the website, actually let's go to the home page here. You see up and front you have the Mini XRT, gives you quick stats, but let's go ahead and learn more. You see that nice Mini XRT being stacked on the regular size XRT. So I'm gonna go ahead and reference my Mini Max on the most part for some time, because it's the one I have here. Again, I don't have this vehicle. I'm gonna be just stating the stats on what is difference between that and the Mini Max, what this one's gonna have, and what they say is going to be, or kind of give you what all the hype is about. So we'll go ahead and go over that. But again, the Mini XRT looks very cool. The body looks very stylish, and we'll go over that and take a closer look what they have on the website here. Now this is going to come with a 2S 7.4 volt battery, which is rated at 40 miles an hour, and it is capable of taking a 3S battery that'll put it at about 55 miles an hour. Now, I did hear from somebody who does have it in hand already. They did some speed tests, and they say that it goes about 62 miles an hour. Now, if that's the case, that's pretty cool. That's pretty quick. I'll definitely have to get it on a race with my Raptor R and my Jado just for the fun of it. But that will be cool to get and actually run a 3S. That's pretty quick, 62 miles an hour for this little car. It's not much bigger than the Mini Max, and it is wider, which I'll go into what it has installed to make it wider. So it is, again, pre-ordered right now. It comes out May 9th in stores, May 23rd if you get it from the website, and I'll link the website here on the bottom of our description so you guys can check it out. And it's about $370, which is about $100 more than the Mini Max. And it'll be up to you if you decide that the tech that they put into this and what is involved with the VXL system and 3S, if that's worth it to you. It does have some other things that are upgraded from the Mini Max to the XRT. So again, that $100 difference, usually I'm always the one to say and appreciate the technology that goes into these, and taking it for what it is, that on the most part, $100 is fair, I think, for an upgraded Mini Max into the XRT. So let's go ahead and take a look. Again, it says bred for performance. We'll have to see if that's the case once we get it in hand. And we see here that it doesn't have the VXL-3s system installed, and then we see that it is 1/10 4x4 drive line. So it does have all the beefed up gears there. We have the Max chassis technology, the clipless body mounts, as most Traxxas systems have now. And then we see here the wide max suspension. So this is pretty cool, and something I do want to look into in the future if I want to upgrade my Mini Max. This wide max suspension is something that's going to be available for an upgrade for the Mini Max. So that's something really cool that's already installed into this, and I can also get that as an upgrade for my Mini Max. So we go through and it shows you some of the videos, some nice pictures, and then we go into the innovation. So it does have, again, the 2S battery that's included. That'll get you about 40 miles an hour. Same as the 2S that came with the Mini Max, and the same charger, which is USB chargeable. You just plug that into USB. It doesn't come with the USB, but it does come with the adapter to plug into their proprietary connector for the battery. So it does, again, include the LiPo. Now let's go ahead and look at the details. We'll go ahead and swipe over to take a look at everything on the outside. Now, as far as the wing here in the back, on the most part it says functional, but I'm not really sure how functional it is. The Mini Max drives very well. I don't know, maybe I throw a spoiler on the Mini Max, see if it makes a difference, or take the spoiler off or the wing off this XRT, see if it makes a difference. But for me, on the most part, it makes a big difference on the little bit longer cars, and also kind of keeping it from flipping over. So that tends to be the case. Now, this model does come with a wheelie bar, which again will keep you from flipping over too much. I imagine this thing's going to have a lot of torque with the power system that it has. It also has the XRT wheels and the Gravix tires. Now, my understanding is that they are offset wheels. You do have also a smaller or thinner tire in the front. So again, I'll have to make those measurements when I get it in hand a little bit later in May. And then we also have the Nerf bars on the side, which is typical. You have a reinforced bumper, again, with those high speeds. If you accidentally hit something going really fast, you'll hopefully save your car a little bit with that reinforcement there in the front. But again, at 55 miles an hour with the 3S, you're probably going to be out of luck if you wreck it. So this hood scoop here, I don't know if it's functioning. It'd be really cool if it is, but it is part of the molded clipless mounting system. So that's pretty cool, and a cool detail there. It makes it look very aggressive. And then as we swipe over, we'll take a look at some of the internals here. So we see that it have the Ultra shocks. It does have the modular chassis, similar to like other models. We can take it apart, very easy to work on. I do appreciate that. And then we see the Velineon 3500 motor. So this 3500 kV motor is gonna give it a lot of boost, as opposed to the little Mini Max here with the BL2S. That 3500 kV motor is gonna really push it, so you get that speed. You get that torque, you really get that punch from it. So that's gonna be really exciting to see and to test out and to drive, just, you know, let it rip. So we see here the VXL-3s ESC. I've had this in some of my other cars, so then putting it into this, giving it a smaller chassis paired with that motor, I can only imagine again how much fun, how much torque, and how much it's going to be wanting to fly once we get it out. Now, the cool thing about having a smaller vehicle like this is when you do jump it and you do land it and you're ripping it, it's not as heavy like, say, the Notorious behind me. That thing weighs like 15 pounds. Imagine launching that in the air and landing 15 pounds. Where this thing, I got to check the weight on it. I might have to do that when I get it in hand. But landing a lighter car, you'll probably won't have as much breakage. So that's a good thing. You can go out and have some fun and hopefully not break anything. So this VXL-3s ESC is really going to help cater to all that power there. So this is TQI ready. I need to get the module for myself for my sand car, and once I get that, we'll really test it with the new XRT Mini. Waterproof electronics as usual, or I believe all of them now are waterproof. Typical battery compartment where you can take that door, flip it around, fit a larger battery. And then another cool thing to note on this particular model, as opposed to like you guys have seen my other videos with the Jado, which really just Jado I've had issues with the servo. So the servo on most of these cars is a 2075, I believe, which I think this one is too. No, this one's actually the 2056. So 2056 on this one, where the Jado has the 2075, my Raptor has the 2075. This one comes with the 2075X. So it's going to have the metal gear. It's going to have that higher capability of the higher voltage. So that's really nice that that's already installed. Now again, when I talk about price, if we're just basing it off the Mini Max and everybody already likes the Mini Max, or they don't like it, and whatever the price is for this, when you take the 2075X, the difference between the 2075, you apply that to the price, then it starts to make more sense. Okay, well, you get a better servo in it, you get that extra power, so then that price gap doesn't seem so bad because you're getting, you know, more for your money as far as what you're paying for with the XRT Mini. So just keep that in mind. It does have the 2075X servo installed already. You have your typical hex hardware there, and then you have your heavy duty suspension. So like most models now, I know they say the HD suspension, HD components. On the most part, they're including that already, so it's kind of a given, almost like a like part of the basic package, I guess you can say. So heavy-duty suspension components, just so you guys know that, and then the interlocking skid plates, like most everything else. Now here's something cool that I do want to get for the Mini Max, is the wide max suspension arms. Now, from my understanding, this is something, I'm not sure if it's available yet, but it will be. It's basically going to add 20 millimeters of width to your Mini Max and to the XRT. So it makes it a bit wider, better stance for those turns, for gripping the road, just all around stability. So that's already included in the XRT Mini. And then we'll go ahead and take a closer look into the details of the drivetrain. So you do have sealed bearings. You have the 32 pitch gears. So this pinion gear paired in all the way that it is really going to, you know, help with that speed. You have a center differential, extra duty drive shaft. So the extreme duty drive shaft. So this is going to be longer than obviously than the Mini Max, and a little bit shorter than the 1/10 scale, so it's kind of a happy medium. They are 50% larger, it states, in the 1/16 scale, so just know that the extreme duty drive shaft should help and aid from any type of breakage as you're driving it with all that power, even as you're landing it, that you don't break it. So you see the differentials here for the Mini XRT, twice the size of the standard 1/16 scale, so just note that there. Those are pretty much all of the internals as far as what I heard and what I see as the differences. We can see the photo gallery there. Real quick to go over the specs, kind of compare it just in general, if you know the specs off the car that you're comparing it to, whether it be the Mini Max or another, if you have an older model of a Mini Traxxas. It is about 8.6, no, well, it's about almost 15 inches long from the end of the wing to the front of the bumper, and it's about 11 inches wide and about 5 inches high. As far as the motor specs, like I said, it does have the Velineon 3500 kV brushless motor. And again, being brushless, you're really going to get all that power out of it. And again, we see the VXL-3s capable of running 11.5 input volts. And then the BEC's voltage, that's 6 volts. So a lot of power can be pushed through this. And again, pretty exciting release, I think. I don't technically own an XRT. I've driven them before in the past. I've wanted one. Just with all the things I have going on, I haven't purchased one yet. With the sand car, you know, the price of that one, I just haven't got an XRT. So this is something I will definitely 100% be getting for myself. Now it does have the capability with the plastic in the front and on the top. I can't show it to you, but from what I saw and from what I see on the website, they will have light bars and other light accessories that go on to it. Again, upgraded springs and shocks and different things. So as far as the color on this one, let's go ahead and take a look at the pre-order. It doesn't come in the typical colors that you've been seeing lately, with the green, the blue, which has some purple inside of it, the red, and the orange. Now we do have the orange Jado, and we do have the red sand car. I do have a green Mini Max, so maybe we'll go with the blue and purple. I'm not too sure, but I am kind of a sucker for red, and then the green, again, always pops. So we'll see which one I end up getting. We'll probably go to our local store here across the way, Rain Man, to see if we can get our hands on that as soon as it comes out. But so far, from what I see on this release, it's pretty exciting. I can't wait for it. Again, when I talk about cars, unless I say otherwise, I am purchasing this with my own money to do the review, to drive it, to check it out, to do the upgrade. So just know that it is $370, and in the price range of what I usually look at, because I'm seeing a lot of cars that are like $500, or another monster truck that was released recently for like $750. Now, granted, those are a different style of RC car, but for me, what I like about the small cars, or as you guys have been watching my videos, watching the micro crawlers that I've been working on, I love the smaller cars because they're easier to take out. You know, whether you're with the kids or you're in your vehicle, you guys are traveling, it's a lot easier to take a smaller car with you to kind of have some fun if you get the opportunity. If you're going to the beach, going just anywhere that you have the opportunity to take your RC car, the Mini XRT should be a lot of fun in a compact size, and that's what I like about it. So again, time will tell once I get it how it goes, and again, I don't have it in hand, so once I get it, we'll go full review, take it apart, and take a look, do the measurements on the tires and the wheels and everything, and really get in depth. But so far, from what I can see, this release looks to be promising. Having that 55 miles an hour speed in such a small, compact package, I think it's going to be really, really fun. Again, I'm doing some race series with some of our monster trucks and other things, so we'll definitely take this against our Raptor R, really put it against the Jado, and once I get some street tires for the sand car, we'll take that out as well and do some races just for fun for these cars. But again, this is just a quick breakdown of the new release of the Mini XRT that's going to be released May 9th in store, or May 23rd if you're going to be buying it from Traxxas.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick rundown of the Mini XRT. I do appreciate everybody for watching, and I do hope that you guys subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on the bottom, and we'll see you guys next time.